Bosses have been around since the dawn of video games. They're a good way to put everything you've learned to the test against the toughest enemy you've encountered thus far. Some bosses can be a joke, while others can be really difficult. From overpowered attacks to incredible abilities, there's always something to put these bosses into a category of their own, and you won't believe how overpowered the moves of the boss in our final spot are. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our content and ring that bell to become part of our notification squad so you never miss a video. Ding ding! Without further ado, here are 10 boss moves that made it game over before you even began. Psycho Mantis Reactions, Metal Gear Solid. Without a doubt, one of the most memorable boss fights of all time was this confrontation in the PS1 classic Metal Gear Solid. It's definitely in the history books, and one of the most impressive uses of a rumble feature we've ever seen. Psycho Mantis is an incredibly tough boss, until you discover his secret. Plugging the controller into the second port will disrupt his mind-reading abilities and make him a piece of cake. But we'll be focusing on the pre-controller port switching version of Psycho Mantis. Do you get all that? His signature move is his mind-reading abilities. Psycho Mantis is able to react to things before they even happen. He knows when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, and he definitely knows what button you'll press at any given moment. Oh, come on! Just put the controller into the second port to end this nightmare. RIKU'S Dark Aura, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is a very odd series to say the least. I still don't know what was going on. But one thing it is known for is ridiculously tough boss battles. So we're obviously going to talk about Sephiroth and his... he has so many overpowered moves we wouldn't know where to start. Instead, we'll be focusing on Riku and that dark aura of his. This battle is tremendously difficult, not only because that move can end you in one shot, but because you had to complete it without Donald and Goofy in a tiny arena, which is no easy task. You are just begging to get destroyed by Dark Aura at any given time. To be honest, the worst thing about this fight is probably the awful unskippable cutscene before it begins. It's just terrible. How many hours did I waste on that? DEMYX'S Water Dance, Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh hey, another Kingdom Hearts boss. What a surprise! How shocking! While Riku may be an awesome character, there's nothing really positive to say about DEMYX'S. He just sucks, plain and simple. He starts off as a comic relief character until he reluctantly engages in battle, only to completely obliterate Sora with time sequences requiring you to destroy all of the water clones or suffer instant failure. Once you hear him shout, "Dance, water dance!" you're done for. His clones will come flying at you from every angle. You'll see water geysers and bubbles everywhere. It's just a huge mess, and you'll regret dancing with DEMYX'S the second the fight begins. You dance with DEMYX'S, you get burned. Shao Kahn's Charge Attack, Mortal Kombat 2. Just hearing the name Shao Kahn will make any Mortal Kombat player cringe. Shao Kahn? He was one of the earliest fighter bosses that truly upped the ante in terms of difficulty. How do we put this? Shao Kahn is just as cheap and unfair as they come. It's just like he harnessed his inner Psycho Mantis and knows everything you're about to do before it happens. But what truly sets him apart is his ridiculous charge attack. He can just mercilessly spam the attack, negating any real fight and turning battles into even cheaper special move spam fests. Oh yeah, a good counter to a cheap boss is cheap tactics. Spam Raiden's torpedo attack and you'll have Shao Kahn begging for mercy in no time, even though it won't feel rewarding at all. FLEMETH'S Knockbacks, Dragon Age Origins. Oftentimes, especially in RPGs, you'll encounter bosses that are totally optional. Usually the reason they're optional is because they're stupidly powerful. Well, Dragon Age Origins is no different, and Morrigan's mother, Flemeth, could be a boss encounter you'll wish you never started. Although she's a frail-looking old woman, she's also a shapeshifter and can turn into a great big death-dealing dragon, one that can toast you into a crisp in no time. That's one hell of a shapeshift. What sets her apart from other enemies is her knockback effect. Even her most basic attacks will knock you back and make it easy to get picked apart. To make matters worse, she's got a ton of health, hits like a truck, and has fire breath and can fly. Do not engage. Heretic Leader's clones, Halo 2. Oh no, not this guy again. The infamous Heretic Leader from Halo 2 still haunts us in our sleep. Everything you want in a Halo boss fight, the Heretic Leader gives you it. We hope you like monsters with jetpacks and insta-death-inducing plasma rifles, because that's exactly what you're gonna get. It's one of the most grueling boss battles in gaming history because of his clones. Usually when a boss clones himself, the clones are weaker versions of the boss, but not with the Heretic Leader. His clones deal the same amount of damage as he does. What? That's gotta be breaking boss code or something, because this fight is just unfair. Big Daddy's Drill, BIOSHOCK. If you're really good at what you do, getting past the Big Daddies isn't the world's most difficult task. But if you want to harvest or save the little sisters on each level to claim the new plasmids, you are dealing with these guys on the reg. Oh, hey, Big Daddy. Besides being kinda scary looking with their underwater suits, Big Daddies were always a few steps ahead of you in terms of strength. The huge drill and brute force tactics made it hard to get a few hits in before seeing your own guts spin around. Seriously, the sound of those heavy footsteps barreling towards Jack is enough to give anyone the heebie-jeebies. The underwater heebie-jeebies. It's even worse. Ornstein's lightning attacks. Dark Souls. Bonnie and Clyde, Batman and Robin, Ornstein and Smo. These are some of the most iconic duos in history. We could honestly spend a whole video going over how ridiculous this fight is. Pick your poison. If you attack Ornstein first, you still got Smo to deal with and vice versa. It's a 2-on-1 handicap match from the get-go. It's very hard to pinpoint one thing in particular that makes this fight so difficult, but if we had to pick one, it would be Ornstein's lightning attacks. These moves are insane. Even if you're hiding behind a pillar, the lightning can still inflict damage on you. Nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe. It just adds more unfairness to an already unfair boss fight. General RAAM'S Swarm of Kryll. Gears of War. Gears of War is chock full of challenging situations and difficult boss fights, but the game's final boss, the evil General RAAM, is without a doubt one of the toughest in gaming. RAAM carries around a powerful minigun, and to make matters worse, he's covered in a shield of deadly Kryll, which could be sent to attack you. Oh yeah, he's also flanked by Reavers. Sadly, Dom sucks in this fight as an ally, so it's pretty much all up to you. When RAAM sends those Kryll after you, they are incredibly deadly. Their pack mentality and vicious attacks can send you to the game over screen before you can say, oh crap. Mike Tyson's combos. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. We're glad you stuck around because this one's a doozy. Mike Tyson is not only a beast in the boxing ring, but a beast in the digital world as well. In fact, he's arguably the most difficult boss in video game history. You'll have to be a Punch-Out master because his relentless combos require picture-perfect timing, the reflexes of a rattlesnake, and hundreds of hours of practice. You have to commit yourself to memorizing Iron Mike's moves and combos so you know what to look for, the right time to attack, and when to use star power specials. It might sound simple, but the second you start the fight, you'll know it's not. It'll take plenty of knockouts until you wake up and learn how to beat Mike Tyson. Hopefully you won't get a piece of your ear ripped off in the process. Ouch. These bosses are not to be trifled with, and we're very glad we're not fighting any of them right now. Are there any boss moves we may have missed? Do you know any tips and tricks to defeat these bosses? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all our videos. Thanks for watching.